welcome to or welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Frey. Excuse my cats playing in the background. And here on this channel, I strive to break stigmas around things such as cannabis, psychedelics, OnlyFans, festivals, etc. Anything alternative, essentially, that I have knowledge in. Today's video is going to be cannabis related. I am doing a quick little updated review. The first video was a unboxing and first impressions. This is a full review of the BOMB ERIG. I am just going to be going over a few things, pros, cons. I'm going to try to sum it up as quickly as possible because the unboxing and first impressions video is quite lengthy. So I'm just trying to wrap up my final thoughts about this device after getting to use it for some time. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and stick around, and I hope that you enjoy it because I have quite a bit to say. Alrighty, friends. So first of all, I want to start off by saying that overall this is a decent device for the price point. I will say I personally would prefer to hit the Pivot at the same price point, which is made by Puffco. However, I do understand that this device here is attempting to compete with the Puffco's Peak series. I do have the Peak Pro. I do not have the OG Peak, which is in this price point. The Peak Pro is a bit more out of this price range. The Peak Pro is definitely up there. There's a lot of reviews out there about it, so I didn't feel the need to post one. Honestly, my Peak Pro is about my favorite device until I got this Pivot, and then this one has been my favorite device, which I will be doing a full review on this one as well. I was having some kinks I was trying to figure out. Excuse me, I took a glob before this video. So I will say it is a decent device for the price point. My biggest issue, I'll say my biggest issues, because I have a couple, with this device is going to be it clogs up pretty quickly. When you remove the atomizer and when you remove the glass like you would in your Peak series, this hole right there, that passageway in between the atomizer chamber and the glass chamber, gets clogged up quite quickly, and it doesn't transfer into the glass as efficiently as I would prefer. That's not that big of a deal. Again, if you're just looking for a nice E-rig that'll chunk clouds for a decent price, I mean, this will get you there. It might just be a little frustrating to have to clean it all the time, but that is, again, might not be a big deal to you. It is a big deal to me just simply because I'm used to more efficient devices in that aspect. However, for the price point, it definitely does get you a good amount. I would say about 10 or 15 dabs, and I was putting some globbers through this before it started getting clogged. Now, my biggest issue, my biggest con with this device specifically, this is actually not the atomizer that came with it. This is the atomizer that came with it. And I did have to get a new atomizer, which I have yet to put through the full test, which we will do in this video. I used this atomizer for about a week, and I was using it on 450 to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. And the charring was really, really bad and continued. And I tried to clean it. I do Q-tip after every dab. And I was doing a really good size glob for the temperature that I was toking it at, and I'm using super clean oil. So they did send me a new atomizer when I sent photos and expressed, you know, that's not necessarily supposed to be normal. Now, regarding the atomizer, because they sent me a new one, I am assuming that the charring is not what they would prefer out of the production of their atomizer. I did read on a recent Instagram post of theirs that they are going to be making their new atomizer 33% thinner, which would not help this charring situation. It would actually make it worse. So I'm not sure if they were just not smart and announced that they are going to be taking a bigger profit for a less quality product for the consumer, or if they just don't understand that that's not a positive thing. When you're having issues with charring, you don't want to then make it thinner. This device is supposed to be able to go up to 700 degrees, and this was charring at 450 to 500, which if you put 200 more degrees on that, it's a bit concerning to see a dab company announce that when they're having issues like this. However, we will put this one through the test. And again, we're going to be using very clean oil. So just trying to keep that in frame. So we're going to go ahead and put it through the test. I will say one last thing. A con about this device is the single button. I did mention that in my first impressions video. It's extremely annoying to have to sit there and press your button and hold it down to find your degree and not have an up and down button. But again, at the price point, it's not that bad. I would prefer that they had preset heat settings, but again, at the price point, not too shabby. Not that it's that much more to make that a thing, but you know, not too shabby for the price point. As well as Puffco does have a patent for any vaporizing device that has a base or removable atomizer and a removable glass. So whether this company will pay Puffco a licensing fee or not in order to continue selling their product, I don't work for the company, so I cannot tell you whether they're going to do that or not. I did inform them just as a courtesy, and they did ask me to do deeper research for them, which I did indeed decline. However, hopefully they will get someone in their company to do that deeper research, so that way hopefully no one will ever get to a situation where they cannot get replacement parts for the device that they already have. So those are my cons. My pros, I'm gonna say it gives you chonkers for the price point. It's a great introduction to electronic rigs if you're trying to get in there for under 200. Again, I would say you could even have a better experience for under 200 with the Pivot, but if you're trying to go for an actual rig style, this is not too bad at that price point. And again, sorry, you hear my cats going crazy. So I have some Octane Mint Sherbet that I got from the True Leaf, and we are going to give this new atomizer a gander and see what we can do. I am going to put it at 500 though, because atomizers should not be charring at 500 degrees. So we're going to put it at 500 and we're going to see what happens. This is the Octane Mint Sherbet that we're going to be toking on today. Very yummy, very yummy. I am using my hot knife. And we, again, are going to throw a ginormous glob in there. Just so that way there's no doubt about the size of the glob if there is any charring. That's honestly my biggest issue, is the charring. If it wasn't for the charring of the atomizer, I would say it's really awesome for the price point. It's just, if I spent $200 on a device and this was my outcome of an atomizer, I would not be very happy. I mean, I'm glad that they sent me another atomizer. But again, I'm also doing I did a review, or an unboxing first impression video for them. So it was, you know, not sure how their like customer service is what I'm trying to say. Their customer service for me was great, but I was like directly in contact with you know, some people. So you double in the company. So you double click to start the session, and as you can see, it's heating up. And it does count how long it takes to heat up as well. I believe it takes about 38 to 40 seconds to heat all the way up to 500, but I will let you know. I also, again, for those who comment about it, I do not use water because some terpenes are water soluble, and terpenes are the main goal of my house. Yep, so it took about 35 seconds to heat up to full 500 degrees. I forgot to mention, another downside is that it doesn't vibrate at all, ever. So you have to just be looking for the green light. Which isn't necessarily a huge deal. But it's just slightly annoying. Oh, excuse me. Ooh. So, that one burned pretty clean. However, the first few burned pretty clean on the other atomizer as well. So, I'm going to go ahead and put this through a few more trials, this atomizer, because I really want to see, because I don't want to tell someone to buy this device if this atomizer issue is an issue, you feel me, and it wasn't just a one-off. So
this through 5 more dabs, so 6 total, at 500 degrees, same size glob. I will record me globbing in every one of them. I'm not going to sit here and record all 5 because then it'll make this video a million years long. But I'll show you me globbing them in. It'll just be a cute little, you know what I'm talking about. I'm high. And then we'll look at the atomizer and see how it is. Because I feel like 6 dabs in, we should start to get an idea. All right, let's do it. Alright, friends, I forgot how many times that was. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I'm majorly blitzed, so I can't hit another one regardless. The atomizer looks great so far. So, it looks like it was just this atomizer that was funky. That happens, especially with electronic devices. There is always going to be a failure rate, so it's not anything against the company on the charring on that. Just know they will send you a new one, and if they don't, you can just send them this video, and they know that they sent me a new one for this charring. So if you're experiencing something like this, just hit up their customer service. And they should get you squared away with a new atomizer. I'm going to put the old one in the box here. Nice little box. I will say, actually before I put this away, I'm just going to show you it up next to the 3D chamber, just because I think it's so cool, the similarities of the design. I'm not sure if this is a 3D or the 3D XL. I think it's just the 3D. So you can see this one also has like airflow at the top. Also has those connector points. Airflow at the top, right there. It's just very intriguing to me to see the similarities, but also the differences. And because they're competing with Puffco, I'm always going to put it up next to Puffco's stuff. This 3D chamber is busted, but it's probably from dropping it. But regardless, the design is still interesting. You can see it even has like airflow holes. I mean, it's nice. It looks great. Yeah, they did a good job. I would say it's worth it if you're just getting into smoking concentrates and electronic devices and stuff. But if you know already that you're like a super heavy dabber, the battery on this, it's decent. It's not too shabby, to be frank with you. it pars up next to the Pivot as far as the amount of dabs you get for the charge time, like for the full charge. But it's still really good for its price point, and I feel like if you're just new getting into it, pretty great option. I feel like if you're a super prissy dabber, you care about terpenes, things like that, probably just save for a Pivot. I would go, I mean, it's the same price, or you could go, if you're trying to stick with the rig, you could go with the Puffco Peak Pro. That's what I have for my everyday rig. I have the Peak Pro. That's just because I have my personalized setting on there, and I quite enjoy that chamber that comes on it. But this is a great alternative, a great backup. I'll probably bring this to festivals with me or whatnot. But if you're trying to do like super prissy, terpy, nice dabs, I would stick with this. It's in the same price point, and you still get a nice Puffco chamber in there. And I'll do a full review on this device later on as well. Otherwise, my friends, thank you so much for coming through tonight. Thank you so much for coming through tonight. I hope that I will see you guys next week. I have the Pivot review coming up next week. Very excited for that. And if you would like to join the family, we're pretty chill over here. We listen and we don't judge. And we would love to have you here. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, maybe the notification bell. I try to post on Tuesdays. Sometimes work and life gets me carried away. But, you know, I try to post every Tuesday. And at least for cannabis-related videos, it's every Tuesday. And I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your week. It's been a long, long week for everybody already. It's only Tuesday, but we could power through it. We're almost to Christmas. We're almost there. Honestly, this isn't a bad deal for Christmas if you're trying to get someone new into dabbing a nice electronic rig. Get them one of these. It's a good price point. It's a nice gift. They have different colors. The different colors do cost different prices. Just look at that. They're anywhere from $180 to $200, I think it was. Still not too shabby. But yeah. Anyways, I'm high as fuck. I feel great. And I hope everyone has a great week. Love you.